My neck and back, they just ache all the time, especially after work. Sometimes I get sharp pains and the headaches wrap around my head. I really worry this is just my new normal, you know? Thanks for checking in.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for summarizing that information. I have all of that written down here. Before we continue, Rachel, can you please tell me what you know about persistent neck pain?
Well, I guess I know that it started after the accident, like a long time ago now. My doctor said it's from nerve stuff and it's not really curable. I don't know, it feels like I'll be like this forever, you know? Like nothing really makes it better and I'm just stuck with it.
Absolutely. I'm sorry you feel that way, and I know that is a common way that people experience pain after they've had it for so long. Is it okay with you if I provide additional information about pain?
Yeah, sure. I guess I'm open to hearing more. Honestly, I just want to understand it better, maybe. That might help me feel a little less hopeless, you know? So yeah, I'm okay with you sharing.
Great, I agree, and thank you for your openness to listening to me. So let's talk about how the body experiences pain. I'm going to compare your body's nervous system and your brain to an alarm system. And when your body reaches a certain threshold of pain, the alarm system goes off. And that's what signals you to feel this pain that you have felt since your accident in 2019. Now, when you feel pain for a long time, sometimes that threshold can get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller until your body sets off the alarm bells constantly based off of what would normally be a small amount of pain to you. Are you following me so far?
Yeah, I think so. It's like my body's alarm system keeps going off, even if there isn't much cause. So everything feels more painful, right? It's kind of scary to think that my threshold could get even lower. Thanks for explaining that.
Yeah, and thank you for explaining that back to me. You explained it perfectly. What I want to also emphasize is that all of your pain is real pain. And like your doctor said, it may involve some of your nerves, but it could also involve your brain and the way your brain is processing pain. So, because you may have felt less pain before your accident, that doesn't necessarily mean that your body is experiencing pain the same way before and after. What are your thoughts about the information I just shared with you?
I think I understand. It's kind of like my brain is keeping G the alarm going, even if the actual threat isn't there anymore. That really makes sense now because it's not just in my head, right? It's like my nerves and my brain both involved. Thanks. That actually helps me understand a lot more.
Great. Well, I'm glad that helped. Normally, what I do in clinic is I send a video to patients that I work with. And it's a video about this Australian man doing a TED Talk. And he talks about how he was bitten by a snake in a field. And then he walked through that same field about a year later, brushed up with some grass, and felt the exact same pain that he felt a year before. So that pain was real. He felt real pain. It was real to him, and therefore it was real. However, he wasn't actually injured. His brain remembered what had happened a year ago exactly. So that's another metaphor that we can use to talk about pain. Before we proceed, what are your thoughts about what I just shared with you?
That's interesting. So my pain can be like that snake bite, right? Like the pain is real, but maybe my brain is remembering it wrong or something. It kind of makes me feel a little less hopeless, honestly. Like maybe it's not just in my head. Thanks for sharing that story. It's kind of eye-opening.
Great. Well, I'm glad that helped. So now, instead of providing education about pain, we need to talk about how we can integrate some strategies to start reducing your pain. So, what would you need from me to help make that happen?
I don't know. I'm really scared to try anything that might make the pain worse, you know? Like I've done so much, nothing really sticks. But if you could maybe help me figure out small, safe things I can try without feeling overwhelmed, that'd be helpful.
Great. Well, based off of what we spoke about in our last session, excuse me, I do think that there are a couple things that we can try. I'm going to suggest first that we start with some really light aerobic exercise, and then second, that we talk about your sleep hygiene and your sleep habits a bit. How does that sound to you?
I guess I'm willing to try a little, at least the light exercise. I'm not sure about the sleep stuff, but I'll give it a here and there. I hope it doesn't make my pain worse, you know? It's like such a risk, but maybe it's worth a shot.
Absolutely. I appreciate your willingness to try. So let's talk about aerobic exercise. Obviously, I'm a student of physical therapy, so exercise is one of my go-tos. However, aerobic exercise has been found to lower pain over time in a lot of people. And what's great about aerobic exercise is that you can do as little of it or as much of it as you want. So that means you, Rachel, have the autonomy to choose how much you do based on what's working for you. For example, I would suggest even starting with 5 minutes of aerobic exercise. When I say aerobic exercise, I mean walking around the block quickly until you're breathing a little bit harder than you normally do when you're walking. How confident are you that you could do that tonight?
I don't know, honestly. 5 minutes, you said? That sounds doable, maybe. But I'm afraid it's just going to make my pain worse, you know? I don't want to push it too much right away. Maybe I could try a few minutes and see how it goes, but I'm kind of nervous about that.
Yeah, that's very normal. I completely understand that. Maybe 5 minutes is too long. Let's change it to 3 minutes. On a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you that you could do a 3 minute walking program for the next few days starting tonight?
Maybe like a 4 or 5? I mean, it's not zero, but I'm still pretty nervous about it. What if my neck and back just flare up again? I guess I could try, but I'm not sure I can keep it up if it hurts. It's just, I don't want to make things worse.
Oh, I completely understand. I completely understand. It's been a rough road for you. Why don't we start it here together in clinic? We have a treadmill right over here. We can do a quick 3 minutes of walking and see how you feel. Would that be something you'd be open to explore?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, if it's in here, maybe it's a little less scary. I'm still worried about how it might feel, but okay, we can try. I'll give it a go. Just, I hope it doesn't make it worse.
Well, great. I completely understand that. And the way you're feeling is completely normal. You have experienced pain for so long, and you're a little hesitant to start something new. And I want to give you a lot of credit, Rachel. You have mentioned that you've tried a number of things to try to reduce your pain, and I really appreciate that you've tried that. I think now that you're seeing a doctor and you're also seeing me as a student physical therapist, we have a lot of research backing and experience helping people reducing their pain. So you were willing to try a lot of things before. Hopefully now the things that we can work with you on and have you start trying are a little more effective and these are proven ways to reduce your pain. So I appreciate the fact that you're willing to try and also that you've tried things before in the past.
Thanks, Dan. I appreciate you saying that. It's hard to believe anything will work after so many tries. But maybe, just maybe, this is different. I do want to get better, I really do. So I'll try, but I'll be honest, I'm scared it won't be enough.
Hey, fear is a completely normal thing, Rachel, and I appreciate you telling me that. Everyone is scared about